In the twilight of humanity's dawn, where firelight danced against crude shelters and shadows whispered of untamed wilderness, there lived a girl who spoke little but saw much. Her name was Tika, and though her hands bore the scars of countless experiments, her eyes burned with an intensity that outshone the flames she tended. While others hunted or traded or wove tales of sky spirits, Tika wandered the fringes of their settlement. She collected fragments, shards of flint, brittle bones, and curious stones that caught her eye. To many, she was an oddity. But to Tika, the world was not something merely to endure. It was something to reshape. She noticed things others overlooked. How fire could soften even the hardest stone. How ash, when mixed just so, could harden clay into something stronger. How water could cool metal, but also shatter it if not done with care. And most of all, she observed how everything, even the mightiest boulder, would yield when struck in precisely the right way. One evening, as the sky blazed with the dying embers of day, Tika crouched by the communal forge pit. In her hands, a lump of black ore, heavy with potential, and a branch she had lovingly polished and wrapped in hide. She raised the stick and brought it down. The sound that rang out was sharp, unfamiliar. Not the dull thud of destruction, but a clear note of creation. Again and again, she struck. Each impact sent sparks flying, each ring echoing into the growing darkness. She worked not to destroy, but to transform. For many moons, Tika labored in relative obscurity. Yet slowly, the others began to notice. Her shelter stood straighter, its walls smoother than those around it. The tools she used cut cleaner, lasted longer. When the rains lashed their village, her roof held firm. When wolves prowled at the edge of firelight, her door stood unyielding. What she held was not a club, not a spear. It did not hunt, it did not kill. It built. They called it the hammer. With patience born of countless failures, Tika showed others how to craft this new tool. From her steady rhythm came new hands, eager to learn. New shelters rose, sturdier than before. Fields were tilled faster, crops planted with greater precision. Soon, the village no longer cowered before the whims of nature. They began to shape the earth to their will. Tika never spoke of greatness. She had no need for boasts or grand proclamations. Her hammer spoke with every strike. It sung a testament to human ingenuity. She claimed no throne, inspired no chants sung in her honor. But long after fires went cold and bones returned to the embrace of soul, the world remembered her, not as a warrior or a queen, but as something far rarer and more precious, a maker. And from the echo of her hammer came a new age, with farming firmly established, with homes that could withstand nature's fury. With speech allowing the sharing of knowledge, the tools of humanity had to evolve. No longer content to merely survive, our ancestors yearned to create. Tika's gift spread beyond her village. Traders carried word of the hammer, of its power to shape rather than destroy. In settlements near and far, curious minds took up the challenge. They experimented with heat, with different materials, with new techniques for striking and shaping. The hammer became more than a single tool. It became a symbol of human potential. With it, copper could be beaten into blades sharper than stone. Gold, once mere glittering pebbles, could be fashioned into adornments that rivaled the beauty of the stars. Even the very bones of the earth, iron ore hidden in mountain veins, began to yield their secrets to those who wielded the hammer with skill and vision. Homes grew taller, stronger. Farming tools, once crude implements of wood and stone, became precise instruments of bronze and iron. Walls rose to protect not just from beasts, from the envy of rival tribes who had not yet mastered these new arts. The age of makers had begun. No longer were humans content to be mere survivors, scratching out an existence at the mercy of nature's whims. They had become creators, shapers of their own destiny. And it all began with a quiet girl named Tika, who dared to strike not in anger, not in fear, but with the steady purpose of one who sees the world not as it is, but as it could be. Her legacy lived on in every forge, in every workshop, in every place where human hands took raw materials and, through skill and imagination, transformed them into something greater. The hammer she created became the heartbeat of civilization, its rhythm echoing through the ages. For in learning to shape metal, humanity had learned to shape its own future. And from that first tentative strike, a spark was lit that would never truly die, the eternal flame of human innovation, burning bright against the darkness of an untamed world.